Hello everyone, I'm Blee and welcome back to another video. And well, what a year 2020 is turning out to be. Yeah, no prizes for guessing what that intro is all about. In the UK at least, we are now 4 weeks into being locked in our house, and everybody across the world is living in this very strange time due to something which I can't name, as I believe it will get me demonetised. I just wanted to take this opportunity to give you guys a quick update video, as I have kind of disappeared off the face of YouTube for a few weeks. I am now at my dad's house. I'm sat in a very sunny spot in the garden, so I can only apologise if I'm squinting a bit. We've set up some props, so yeah, I just want to give you a quick update and let you know what it is I've been getting up to and what it is I have planned during this very strange time. Just a quick reminder for those who don't know what this video series is about. The clue's in the name really. I want to become a car journalist, and this video series tracks my progress from nothing until hopefully achieving at that point in my life and my career. So yes, let's get on with it. So I'm going to start this video, I think, by doing a quick throwback to the last update video I did and mention a few things that I spoke about in that video. So I think that one was uploaded just before Christmas. I believe it was called the 1,000 subscriber update video. And in that one I mentioned that I wanted to hit 2020, wanted to hit the ground in 2020 running, so I had the best chance of achieving what I wanted to achieve as soon as possible. I had quite a lofty ambition of 10 or 20,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I still quite like to hit that, but obviously due to these current circumstances that might not happen. But anyway, did I hit the ground running? Well, I think I did. Admittedly, I had a week or two off. Sort of the second and third week of January weren't particularly productive for me. That is because I was doing uni work well up until past New Year's Day, so I wanted a little bit of time just to unwind because I didn't really get any of that over Christmas. But yeah, I think after I did unwind slightly, I did hit the year quite hard, to be honest. I had 2 press cars between January and March. I then went to PSA down in Coventry. PSA, by the way, is the group that own Peugeot, Citroën, Vauxhall, DS. You know, they own those brands, and I filmed a few of their cars. I also went to see a subscriber, filmed 2 of his cars, and I also filmed 2 other videos. And yeah, altogether I think I filmed some good content, and one thing it did teach me is that getting good cars on the channel will increase the viewership. Obviously, I try and film as much as I can and get my hands on anything I can. But those videos with the Corsa, the Peugeot 208 and the 2 subscriber cars, which belong to the same person, all did quite well for views, and it's proof that actually getting interesting cars on the channel will do quite good things for views and therefore subscribers. Not really a surprise really, it's sort of something that's pretty obvious. But talking about the cars, I was very chuffed to get to PSA, and I was even more excited to film the new 208 and the new Vauxhall Corsa. I didn't think I'd be able to film those cars. I thought they were going to be a bit off limits for somebody in my position, so the fact I got to film them, I was very happy about that. In fact, the Peugeot 208 which I filmed, I was probably one of the first people to drive that after the UK launch, because I believe the UK launch was the day or 2 days before I was there. So I was one of the first people to drive that outside of the launch, and in fact that car I had the week after went to the motoring editor at the Sun. There was somebody in my position, that's just quite a cool thing to be able to say. And also I think my videos on YouTube were the first, if not one of the first, sort of driving impressions on the road by somebody who wasn't at the UK launch. In fact, I think they might have even beat people who were at the UK launch. So yeah, again, they were quite good little things for somebody in my position to have achieved. Like I say, they did well for views and for some extra subscribers, and ultimately that's what I'm aiming for. So I think that's something moving forward I'm going to try and do more often. Yeah, that was a good thing. The person who I went to see was a subscriber, his Jag and his Alpha, they did well. Nice to see somebody who is a subscriber, and again, moving forward, that's something else I'd like to do more of. Press cars, I got the Suzuki Ignis and the MG ZS EV. I liked having press cars, it's always a good thing to have. Apologies if my cat nudges this camera. What are you doing, Jack? Yeah, press cars are always good to have, always a good experience, always a bit stressful though, trying to get the best out of those that you can and get some good content done. The MG ZS EV in particular, that was a good one for me because it's the first electric vehicle I've lived with, so that was a bit of an eye-opener, for me, and it did teach me a few things about what perhaps the future has in store for us. Now unfortunately, all of that good progress was then put to a bit of a sudden halt due to this thing that we are now experiencing and living in. Like I said, I can't name it because I'm fairly sure YouTube doesn't want you to, but we all know what it is I'm talking about, and that explains why I'm now living at my dad's house opposed to at uni. Yeah, that kind of put a stop to things That's a bit frustrating really. Obviously I probably should have had some videos stockpiled beforehand, because there was probably a 2-week warning before we actually were told to stay at home where you could go out and film things. But unfortunately I didn't do that. There's a few reasons really. Firstly, in the position I'm in, I don't have a little black book I can flick through and find contacts and find things quite easily to film. It's still a bit of a struggle for me to get videos, or to get the opportunity to make videos, so that was one of the reasons. Secondly, I was a bit ill. Well, I was quite ill actually when I had the ZSEV, and that kind of put me off it. And yeah, I don't know, I just didn't do it, so I don't really want to make excuses. I should have done it, I didn't, so that kind of explains why there hasn't been any videos for a few weeks basically. I should have stockpiled some, I didn't. And then, quite frankly, after getting to my dad's house and the situation being as it was, I felt quite low and quite down and quite frustrated and annoyed about pretty much everything, and the last thing on my mind was to sit in front of a camera and try and make content. Yeah, so sorry about that. It's been a little while since I've uploaded a video, but I'm here now and I don't feel quite as bad. I kind of had to give myself a kick up the arse because I had a uni deadline on the Friday, so I had to get on with that work, otherwise I'd be failing my degree. Yeah, I do want to make more videos moving forward. Despite the situation we're in, it's going to be a little bit difficult because obviously I can't go out and film cars. I don't have a driveway. I'm sat in a fairly small garden, and we're lucky to have this, to be honest. I think without this I'd be very miserable, but I'll try and do what I can. This is more of an update video just to let you know I still exist, because it's been about 3 weeks I think since I put a video up. So yeah, I will try and do some content. I don't really want to do top 10s and all that sort of jazz which other YouTubers are doing. I could do it, it just, I don't know, it's not really what I want to do. I might do, but it's a tricky one. We'll see. If you guys have any suggestions, or if you want me to talk about your car or a brand in particular, let me know. I might do a video on that. But I think more realistically it's going to be videos on these old British bikes back here. There is a shed full of them here, not a big shed, but it is chocker with old British bikes. They belong to my dad, they obviously don't belong to me. If you're not into bikes, I can only apologise. They might still be fairly interesting though, because they're old British bikes and they do have a bit of a story behind them, and obviously they're not all in mint condition, so there is bits and pieces to talk about. And yeah, they aren't all the same. There's two twins. This one behind me is a 350 single cylinder thing. There's also a modern KTM in there, so I could wheel that out. And yeah, that's probably what I might end up filming throughout this weird situation we're living in. After this situation is over, there are a few things I'd like to do. More press cars will obviously be good. I'd like to go and visit more places like that PSA trip I did, so more manufacturers, and just film videos like that. They're a bit more candid than a setup review, but they'll be quite cool to do. I'd like to make some connections with dealers, and also I'd like to do some subscriber videos. And finally, I do have a project car that's kind of replaced the Saab, but the Saab still exists, that I need to introduce to the channel. If you follow me on Instagram, you will be aware of what that is. And yeah, I do want to get that on the channel and track its progress from being fairly scruffy to being a nicely sorted little car. Right, I think before I wrap this video up, I'm just going to briefly touch on the fact uni has obviously gone up in the air. Well, everybody's life has turned upside down recently, but university has obviously stopped. I'm now at home and we're doing online learning. Now, one thing I'm going to say is I'm bloody glad I'm only doing 2 modules this term instead of 4 like I did last time, and that is because I hate online learning. I've had to experience it through my childhood, teenage years, because I was homeschooled, because I couldn't go to school due to my anxiety, which I'll talk about in a previous video. But yeah, I had to do homeschooling, so therefore I had to do online learning when I was 14, 15, 16, and I hated it, and I still don't like it now. If I wanted to do online learning, I'd have done an open university degree instead of an actual degree where we have lectures. I can't be too upset about it. Upset's a bit of a strong word, because obviously lecturers and universities are doing the best they can given the current circumstances. I just find it a bit tricky, and my motivation is quite hard to come by when I'm staring at a presentation on a screen. Like I said, luckily I'm only doing 2 modules, so we've got PR and mobile journalism. That's me swearing in reverse. And they're alright, I just need to get on with them. PR I'm trying to take a bit more interest in than I initially thought I would, because for my kind of career path it's an interesting one, because obviously PR is relevant to me, because they basically the people you have to deal with to get press cars, and it's quite an interesting topic. So yes, that's university. I don't really enjoy online learning, but it's kind of got to be done. There's only 3 weeks left, I think, until all my deadlines, or 4 weeks. Yeah, so there's about a month until my deadlines. So actually, as much as I don't like doing it, I've just got to get my head down over these next 4 weeks, get it done to the best of my ability, and then it'll all be done. And then over summer, I think we're going to do something I didn't do last year, and that is get a part-time job. Why do I want to do that? Well, I think there's a few reasons. Firstly, and most obviously, money. It's quite difficult funding summer when you've only got a student loan in May to last you. I do have savings, but I don't want to use those really. And a little part-time job will give me beer money, petrol money, and some money to sort of try and work on this car, which I haven't introduced to YouTube yet, which is a bit of a project car, so that would be cool. Another reason I want that job is because I think it'd give me a little bit more motivation, and it'd help me appreciate my time off more. One issue I've found with being off or not having a job or a focus or something to get up for is that you kind of become lazy just by the virtue of being sat around the house a lot. So yeah, I think a job would focus my mind in that aspect. And obviously if it's a little part-time 2-day-a-week thing, I should have plenty of time to produce videos for you guys. So yeah, I think we're going to stop rambling now. This was basically a little video to let you know I still exist. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it's tricky for everybody. Hope everybody's okay who's watching this. Yeah, it's difficult for all of us, but I'm sure together we can get through this, and then after it we'll all appreciate freedom perhaps a little bit more. So yes, I still exist. I'm going to try and make some more videos for you guys. Bear with me if they're a bit not necessarily car related, but I'm going to try. Obviously I want to keep this YouTube channel ticking over to the best of my ability. So yeah, thank you for your continued support. I've been Blee, thank you for watching, and please remember to like, comment and subscribe.